Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday training. It is, well, it's right at the middle of the month. And we still have a whole nother half of the month left. And I don't know about you guys, but I am dialing in to my business. All right, so here's what we're going to talk about today is how we can focus on our business and make it work for us. Here, I was going to walk in and out. That's fine. So dialing in our business is really something that we can do at any time. But I really think that being able to really refocus requires a bit of like introspection, right? So we have to look back at ourselves and really dig in deep. Hello, Miss Lisa. Dig in really deep to see our why. Why are we working for our business? And I know that for some, this is a hobby. I know for some, you're not looking to make this be a full-time career. And that's okay. That doesn't diminish your why. And it shouldn't make it a small why either, just because that's where you're at with your business. The why is really going to be your drive, your motivation, your reason for taking action in your business. And when you're dialed into that, when you're really focused on that, I'm going to tell you right now, you can do amazing things. Amazing things. And having that why be a strong connector for you, like I said, it's not only going to motivate you, but it's going to help you to push outside of your comfort zone. And yeah, that comfort zone is really comfy, right? It's comfy, it's cozy. We kind of do the things that we've always done, the way we've always done them, and it's kind of worked, and maybe some months have been better than others, and some months not as good as others, but we just kind of stay here, and we stay happy, and we just kind of churn along. Let me tell you right now, even when I work this as a hobby, being able to push out of my comfort zone, being able to try new things, being able to pour into myself so that way I could do maybe some things a little bit differently that weren't working as well, or try something brand new that maybe I was inspired by another consultant or on a group page or what have you, right? All of those things helped me to not only get the income that I wanted out of my hobby and then as my side hustle, but it also helped to build all the things that I needed to do to be able to make this what it is now, which is my full-time job and my full-time income. So having that why is extremely important. If your why is small, and maybe, and I'm going to throw out an example here. So maybe your why for working your business, why do I work my business? I work my business because I'm bored, or I want something to do on the weekends, or I really just like the product. I just want to be able to buy it when I want to buy it. That may be why you joined. That's not why you're working this hobby or side gig or business. Does that make sense? So we have to really figure out and dig a little bit deeper rather than just, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I just really like to do it. I just really like the products. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that if I were to ask you, do you like money? You're going to say yes. Yes, Lisa, most certainly. Most certainly. And I know that money is a big motivator for probably almost all of us. I mean, unless you're just independently wealthy and you're like, money does not mean anything to me, then that's fine. That's fine. keep doing what you're doing, stay in your comfort zone, and live your best life. That's awesome. But I can tell you right now that even as a hobby, I got excited when I was able to make an extra $50, $100, $200 in a month as a hobby. And I remember being so proud to just tell people, like, because I was still working my full-time career, right? And inevitably I'd be in a conversation with someone and the topic would come up of what are you doing, or how did your weekend go, right? Or whatever it was. And I remember having small conversations and being like, you know, because it was a hobby, I never really led with the fact that, oh, I'm an independent Scentsy consultant. It was just like, they probably don't care about this whole wax and warmers thing that I do on the weekends and that I like to do when I get home from work, right? Like, I never really talked about it. So when it would come up in conversations, and I remember being proud when I started actually, you know, seeing my commission check. And yeah, it may have just been $50 at the time, right? Or $20 at the time even. And I was like, oh yeah, I got Scentsy paid last week. And so then I went and got my nails done or whatever, right? And they were like, wait, what? What? My why soon became, even though it was a hobby, right? Hobby level, it soon became, hey, I can be able to maybe do a little bit more in this so that way I can pay for the things that I want to do that I don't have to feel guilty about, like taking out of our family finances, right? Like getting my nails done, getting a haircut. Can we be real and talk about how expensive it is just to go have your hair done? I mean, come on. Things like that. Going to TJ Maxx and just looking around and being able to go, oh, okay, well, I've got X amount of money and I'm just going to spend it in here today. I'm just going to find some fun, cute little things for the house and I'm going to be happy, right? This is going to be my happy place for the next 2 hours as I just walk the aisles of TJ Maxx, right? That was exciting for me. And I remember feeling that sense of pride, knowing that I was doing something that wasn't taking away time from my family, that wasn't taking away time from my career, and being able to make something that I could then do for myself. And as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, taking care of parents and things like that, right? I was a big deal. And that's really when it occurred to me how important my why was. Because it wasn't just, oh, I just like the products. It was, so I can do some fun things for myself. And then my older kids who were teenagers then, right? Especially, I know, kids. They just tend to get more expensive as they get older. And so one of the things that we struggled with, my husband and I, for many years, is Christmas every year. I have 2 older children, right? And then Madison, who, well, she was much younger then. And between buying for the older children and buying for Madison and buying, you know, for our parents and our family, right? It adds up. And I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of anxiety when I start to think about, oh my gosh, I have to start Christmas shopping, right? When it comes around to that time of year, right? I start stressing, I give myself anxiety, I start overthinking everything. Oh, it's a whole deal, right? So I really, like about the 3rd, 4th year, when I was doing Scentsy, and it was still more or less, it had kind of progressed more from a hobby into like a side hustle kind of thing, right? But it was still never really, you know, a why, right? I didn't, you know, really being able to dial myself back into my why was important, because I found that when I focused on the why, that not only did I put more energy and effort into my business, but I was having more conversations. I was talking to more people, which means I was actually having more sales, because I was either doing pouch parties or I was starting to do online parties at that time. and being able to start to connect with my customers and really start doing follow-up. But I soon discovered that the why for my business, when it started becoming a side hustle, Miss Brianna, Kylie, hello ladies, is that I started realizing I can, oh, thank you, Brianna, thank you. I'm totally stressed about moving. I'm not gonna lie. I got 3.5 weeks. So I'm gonna be, talk about anxiety. Okay, so that Christmas would always just loom over me. It would loom. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It would loom there. Oh, I hated it. And so my why started to become, hey, yeah, I can make maybe $200 a month, $300 a month. Sorry, my internet cut out for a second. Making those bigger amounts, right? And okay, I'm going to take, $50 and I'm gonna go get my nails done, maybe get a pedicure, right? And then I was like, okay, the rest of my commission, I'm just gonna put over here in the savings account. Or sometimes I would just pull it off the card, and I literally had a can. It wasn't a coffee can, it was a can. And I had Justin like cut a hole in the top, right? So I couldn't see through it, put it that way. Couldn't see through it. And I would just literally go cash out my pay card. I would go to the ATM and pull out the cash, and I would stick it in there every single month. And I remember that very first Christmas being able to, it was probably around like October-ish, maybe late October, somewhere around there. When the kids start getting antsy, we're getting into the holiday season. They're really starting to talk about things. They're leaving us subtle hints. My kids are great at giving me hints at the things that they want. So I was getting all the hints, and I was like, oh my gosh, all right, there's that cloud looming there. I got Christmas coming. Okay. How many more paychecks do I have? How many more paychecks does Justin have before Christmas? What do we have to pay before the end of the year? Right? And I remember going to that can the very first year and taking the lid off, because I had made myself a promise I wasn't going to look, right? I was just, every month I was going to take care of my nails, and maybe we went out to dinner or something. Like I took a little bit of money out. Everything else just went into the can. And I remember opening that can that very first Christmas and just, as a mom, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. But it wasn't tears of sadness. It wasn't tears of anxiety like normal. It was just like that silent cry. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. Where you're just like, I can take care of this. I can take care of this. And I remember having like $300 or $400 and looking at that and just going, like, to me, that was like the heavens were singing that Christmas. And I just remember feeling so, I'm even tearing up now. I'm such a mom. But I remember just sitting there, just having that utter feeling of joy and thankfulness, not only that I had done it for myself, right? That I had done something. I really felt like I had accomplished something. That was huge for me. I'm not good when it comes to saving money. Trust me, I'm not. But I had actually done it that year. And I was so proud, and I was so excited. And I remember having a conversation with Justin because, even up until probably about 3-4 years ago, he was always like, yeah, that's your Scentsy thing. It's not really a real thing, right? You just have fun with that. He wasn't ever really seeing right. And I really wasn't putting too much effort into it until about 5 years ago or so. But I remember telling him, do you know how much I have in my can? He knew I had a can. But they don't pay attention to things like that. And I remember telling him how much I had in my can. And I remember it was Alyssa, my oldest now, or always been my oldest. But Alyssa at that age, and I remember she had written down on her notebook piece of paper with her pretty handwriting and the little hearts over the eyes, right, of her Christmas list. And I remember having that, and I remember having the can, and I remember showing Justin and just going, I can take care of this. And it was probably about that time that Justin actually really was like, oh, this isn't just something that she plays on the internet about, right? Like, she's not just on her phone playing around. Like, she's actually making money. Like, it was like a lightning bolt for him. Like, oh my gosh, this is actually something. Oh, Brianna. That's gonna make me cry too. That makes me so happy. The point being is that even if this is not something that you're looking to be that full-time, I want to retire kind of thing, this is still an amazing way to be able to do the things that maybe you didn't think you would ever be able to do. Like I said, I suck at saving money. I still suck at saving money. I just do. I am not good at it. I'm not good at it. It's a horrible problem. But being able to have the money for those things, give yourself that why. Give yourself something that you can turn around and say, this is why I'm doing it. Maybe it's the Christmas fund. Maybe it's taking your family just on a staycation weekend or something, right? Maybe it's something bigger. Maybe it is paying off a car or making enough money for a car payment. Because I will tell you, that Christmas that happened, when I realized what the potential really was for me to have income like that, that's when Justin and our life completely changed. It was like we were going on this straight path, and all of a sudden it was a 90-degree turn, and we just turned. And what it was is it soon turned into, this is going to make the car payment, because we really needed, like, we were driving a crap car. Let me just tell you that right now. Like, the heat finally had gone out in it. It was a Saturn that I'd had for years. It ran great. And luckily I'd taken good care of it, so it didn't need like a whole lot of work that I needed to do on it. But, and it was paid off, right? I paid it off, bought it, cashed out, right? Cash to buy it when we bought it. And so, oh, the wedding dress. Oh my goodness. I knew we needed a new car, and I was like, okay, if I was able to do that and save and really like make myself accountable, then I know that I can do this a little bit more. I can push outside of what is comfortable for me a little bit more. And now I want to see if I can afford a car payment every month, because we really need like a reliable car. Like I said, the heat in the Saturn had gone out. I remember Justin was still working overnights. I was working during the day. He was working overnights. And I remember him driving to work telling me, that there was no heat in the car. The heater element or whatever it was that makes the heat work in the car had stopped working. And so here in Kansas City, we have like all seasons in the same week. So like one day it's like really cold, and the next day it's like 60 degrees. It's amazing, right? So I remember him telling me how he was driving home from work and how it was just so cold, and he couldn't, the defroster on the windshield, right? He had scraped off the windshield, but it wouldn't like stay undefrosted, right? Because there's no heat. There was no defrost. There was no heat in the car. And he was like, I kept having to pull over and like scrape off for the driver's side just so I could be able to like see to be able to drive home. That's how bad we needed a vehicle. That became my next why. And so it took me a few months. I really dug my heels in. I really made a plan. I said, okay, I'm going to book parties. I'm going to, and for parties, I mean, this was way obviously before COVID, but I didn't have the customers who really want to do home parties. So everything for me was pouch parties or online parties. That's truly, honestly, the way that it went for me. And no, our babies. And it took me a couple of months setting everything up, making that plan. And of course, I was still doing the same thing. I was like taking that money, cashing out my pay card, putting it in the can because I knew we'd have to have a down payment. And I remember us going in, and I remember feeling so excited because we went into the Toyota dealership, and I knew for certain, like right off, I was like, well, there's, obviously we're here to look at like the used cars. That's, that's just where I'm at, right? And I remember the salesman, who actually became a good friend for lots of years with us. He did us very well. But I remember him saying, well, have you ever thought about a lease? And I was like, I'm not that kind of person. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm at that level. He's like, no, let's just see, what do you have to work with? Where are you at? And I had saved up our money. So I had our money saved up. Like, we knew we were going to try and buy a car that day, right? So I thought I was going to have that down payment. And I remember him coming back going, okay, we can get you into a lease with no money down because they were running promos or whatever. And your car payment is going to be, I think it was like $320 or something, somewhere around there, right around that $300 mark, a little bit over. And it was a brand new car. Toyota Camry, brand new car. First time in my life I ever had a brand new car. And that instantly was my why. I am going to make my car payment with my Scentsy money. Spoiler alert, I did. Another spoiler alert, 6 months, maybe shorter. I don't know. I'd have to look back at my timeline. But it was a few months after I had gotten ours at the time, right? Gotten the Camry. We went back in because of our schedules, because Justin worked nights, I worked days. It really got to the point where we're like, we really have to have a second vehicle. And the Saturn literally hadn't moved at that point. Like, it was on its very last leg / deathbed. It was going to die. We went back to Toyota. We talked to our sales guy. And Justin left. And we got him a leased. He didn't get the Camry. He got the Corolla. And we leased that as well. And I want to say his payment was smaller. It was like $200 something. And I was like, don't worry. And I remember Justin and I coming home, and of course we were excited because we had gotten, we were like, oh my gosh, we both have new cars. This is insane. Who are we? We aren't these people. We don't do these things. And I remember us sitting there that night, like after dinner or whatever, at the end of the night, and Justin going, so, like, you can really do this? I can really do this. We did it. We did it. And that is where my why and the importance of my why really was like I said, it was the direct turning point. We were going this way. All of a sudden, life changed. And we were going a whole new direction. A direction that I never thought that we were capable of going. I never thought that that was the lifestyle that we would be able to have. And ever since then, my why has always been focused on how can I do better for my family? How can I provide more for my family? So again, it was, a few years after that I still was working it. It was truly a side hustle, but I was making both lease car payments. Okay. I was making both of those with my Scentsy income, and we still had extra money so I could still get my nails. Goodness knows, Jacqui still loves her, I've always loved my nails. I was able to get my nails. We'd go to dinner at least once or twice a month. Like a family dinner, right? Like, that was my why. And that's when I really realized the power of what Scentsy can do. And the power of what we are capable of. If you want to make a commitment to yourself, to your family, to your loved ones, to yourself, this is the place where dreams can come true. We went from living not even paycheck to paycheck. It was paycheck and maybe like almost to the next paycheck, to paycheck to, oh, yesterday was payday? Oh God, I didn't even realize yesterday was payday. Okay. All right, yesterday was payday. Who are these people? We have been able, and Scentsy has been the vessel for us to get to that self-esteem. Because for me, it was a whole self-esteem thing. Instantly in my job, my career, right? Until they outsourced me 3 years ago now in 2018. I never thought that I had the ability to get into management at my career. Like, I'd always worked towards that. I was putting myself back through college for all of that, right? But I never really, again, it was the mindset of I'm not that person. My confidence level just grew because with Scentsy, I was able to find that inner confidence. I was able to find the ability to know that I was able to make an impact. And so I took that not only in my Scentsy business, but to the job, right? To the career. And it also helped me there. And at the same time, Justin was growing with me. And as I changed, he changed. And his self-confidence grew. And I will tell you that is worth its weight in gold, people. Because when you believe in yourself, when you have the ability to see that you are worthy, that you are worth more than what you think you are, or worth more than what you're destined to do, or worth all the struggles, worth the hard work, that is when the sun will shine. That is when you will realize your why. So whether or not this is your hobby, whether or not this is your side hustle, whether or not this is leading up to you making this your full-time job, I'm not done yet. Don't think I'm done yet. I'm not done yet. Yeah, this is my full-time job, but guess what Jacqui's job pays for now is the house that we just signed for yesterday. And yes, we still rent. But let me tell you, renting a home is not a cheap thing to do. That is my why. I went from being able to get my nails done to, oh my gosh, can I make a lease payment on a car? To, oh my gosh, now I can make our car payments and pay some bills. To, I'm going to make this my full-time income and not go back to a job. To, last night, signing a lease for a house that I never thought that we would be in. These are the things that Scentsy can do for you if you are willing to put in the work. I did a whole video on this business is hard because let me tell you, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm not telling you that, oh, it's a get rich. Yeah, you're going to be able to be a millionaire tomorrow and blah, 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 blah. That is not what we do. That is not how it works. Sorry. It's just not. Consistency, hard work, putting in the time and effort, making the commitment, writing down what your why is, and sticking to that why. And making yourself do the work that needs to be done so you can be the person you want to become. My why has obviously evolved, like I said. As of last night, my why officially changed again. I now have a dollar amount that is something that I never thought that I would be at, that I didn't think I was ever worthy of. Because I will tell you, for those of you who may or may not know my story, my first marriage was very ugly. It was very bad. It was bad. And I never, ever thought that I was worthy of a lot of things. And I can tell you that I've grown. Obviously, I've grown from that. But to be able to look back and see the woman that I was then and the woman that I am today, sitting here in front of you, having this conversation, we are not even the same person. I am not that person. And it's not because I married a rich man. Let me tell you, Justin was not a rich man when I married him. I did not marry my husband for his money, okay? Let's just get that clear. I was not a trust fund baby. I mean, nothing, right? Okay. Just so we're clear. Everything that we've done has gotten us to where we want to be. And now as we move into this next chapter of our lives, I was pulled to talk to you guys today because I had a whole agenda like written down of what I was going to talk about today, because I talked about February and our topic for the month is sponsoring, right? But last night happened and it woke the fire in me. And I knew that I had to talk to you guys today to let you know that you are worthy. That if you are trying to do something, if you're trying to make your life better, if you're trying to provide more for your family, if you're trying to have more freedom, if you're trying to do more things, if you are working on that wedding dress, you can do these things. You got to show up. You got to make a plan. And every single day, you need to have that why there. Put it on a Post-it note. Stick it up. Make it the wallpaper on your phone. Write notes all over the house. I'm working this business because... Not because you like it, not because you enjoy it, not because it's fun. I mean, it's all those things. I'm not saying it's not those things. It's all those things. And more. The friendships and everything else is completely, I mean, that's worth it in and of itself. But let me tell you, your why needs to be strong. Your why needs to be that wedding dress. Your why needs to be that car payment that you want to take care of. Or you want to help take care of the payment for your home. You want to be able to have money for Christmas. You want to be able to take your kids on the vacation. You want to do more. Nothing is going to stop you if you put your mind to it. And if anybody tells you differently, those are not your people. Plain and simple. And it may be a harsh truth to think about or to say. But if you have people who do not believe in you, or tell you that you can't do it, or tell you what you're doing is stupid or crazy or insane, or you'll never get there, those are not the people that you need in your corner. You have to surround yourself with the people who believe in you and the people who will be there to encourage you. And I guarantee you that at least in this team, you will find those people. And I guarantee you that within the other Facebook groups, within the Scentsy community, you're going to find those people. And hopefully your spouse or significant other or family members, right, will be that for you as well. Justin didn't see the light either until that very first time that I was able to take care of Christmas. When you have those people there, surround yourself with them. And along with that comfort zone, right? It's so warm in that comfort zone. But being able to open yourself up to those people and say, this is my why. This is what I'm working for right now. This is why, yeah, I may need to go in the bedroom and sit on the computer for a little bit. Or, yeah, after dinner, I'm going to have to sit down and I'm going to have to learn how to do Visly so I can set up some parties on Facebook. Yeah, I know I'd love to go Saturday to the mall and go shopping, but I really need to sit down and I really need to watch some trainings, or I need to have some conversations with people about joining my team. You're probably going to have to sit down and make some sacrifices or carve the time to do the things that you need to do, and letting them know this is why. I tell Justin every single week, because on Sunday nights I will sit down and do like a rough plan of my week, right? It always gets more filled in as the week goes on. And then boom, on a Monday, you sign a whole new lease for like 3 years that you're committed to for 3 years of being able to do this. So, okay, if that doesn't wake you up, I will tell him, these are the nights I'm not available. Sorry. Yeah, I want to be able to go to dinner too. Let me look at my calendar. And you know what? It used to be years ago that he'd be like, oh, this is just an online thing. Why are you always on Facebook, right? He does not anymore. Because he sees what this does for our family. He knows that I'm not just sitting here scrolling Facebook all day. I'm not just looking at Pinterest just to pin things, right? If I'm doing something online, if I'm on Pinterest, then that means I'm looking for ways to, make Happy Mail, or how can I spice things up doing this, right? Or I will just do searches for Scentsy. I can tell you that I can find lots of great things on there. I can search on YouTube. Hello. There's a lot of things on YouTube that I've learned how to do. I can get on the Facebook groups on Facebook, and I can really look at them and go into the units and go into the files and go, oh, that's how they made that. Okay, I get it now. All right. Okay, got it. Vicky. Those are the moments, right? Those are the moments that make all of the, I don't know how to get my sales this month. I don't know how to get somebody to join my team. I don't know how to get my team to work. My team members, I need them to start working. And I don't know how. You need to have the conversations with them of what their why is and why that why is important. Why it needs to like touch a nerve, okay? Think of like a toothache, right? When you get a toothache, when you break your tooth or whatever, you need a root canal, and that nerve is like right in your face all day long, right? You need to find the toothache. You need to find the thing that is going to wake you up or wake them up. If you're talking about your team and how to motivate them, how to wake them up every single day or every single month. They need to be on the same level, right? And again, it doesn't matter if it's a hobby, a side hustle. You want this to be a full-time job. I don't care if they go, yeah, I don't care. It's just a hobby. Okay. Well, what do you want to do? What do you want out of this? Do you want to get your nails done every month? Do you want, pay for the kids' activities? What is it? Just because it's a hobby doesn't mean that it doesn't maybe have a dollar sign attached to it. Because again, hello, this is our world. I'm sorry, but this is our world. And money is what makes the world go round. If we want to be able to do the things, we want to take our family places, we want to pay the bills for the roof of our head, drive the car that we want to drive, that takes money. We have to help them dial in just like we are dialing ourselves in. Because that's when your team is going to start working. That's when you are going to stop saying, well, I've talked to everybody, but nobody wants to join. That toothache needs to be throbbing. You need to feel it in your bones and say, damn it, yeah, I've talked to 20 people today. No, I've got this host kit. Nobody wants to take it. I don't care. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going because I got a payment I got to make every single month. And that means more to me than not asking a few people. Or that means more to me than saying, I'm not going to watch that video and learn how to do Visly or learn how to do, better Instagram posts or whatever, right? So I can get more eyes on my business. That payment that I'm going to make every month means way more to me than anything else. And that's the fire that you need, and that's the fire that you need your team to have as well. Find the toothache and make sure it's something that is going to make them keep their eye on their prize. So if that means you have to ask them every other week or every week, what is your why? And if they say, just so I can have some extra money. Extra money for what? You know how we make SMART goals, right? We make them specific and measurable, right? This is just a hobby. A hobby for what? A hobby to buy clothes? You got a clothes thing? You like to buy nice shoes? You want to buy that new Michael Kors purse? Okay. How much is it? What's the dollar amount? Let's put a dollar amount out there. If this is your hobby, just so you can buy the purse that you want to buy or buy the shoes you want to buy, then let's put a dollar amount on it. And now we have a measurable hobby. Same way that we look at the goals, we need to apply that to our why. Find the toothache. Feel the nerve pain. It will wake you up, right? It will shock you. And it will be the thing that reminds you every single day. Same way that it will with your team. Are you guys in? Let me tell you. If I wasn't all in before, which goodness knows I was, but I certainly am now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to do the things that I need to do to get my business to where I want it to be. Do I know all the ways to do it? No. Does that mean, yeah, I'm probably going to have to watch some other leaders and their training videos and I'm going to have to figure it out. And yeah, am I going to have to push myself outside of my comfort bubble and start having more conversations? Yeah, I am. Because trust me, it's going to be more painful to not make my rent payment than it is to make a couple phone calls. Find the why. Remember the why. Stick to the why. If you guys feel comfortable enough to share them in the group page, feel free to do so. We will all be here to help, encourage you, support you. If you want us to give you some accountability, then let's set up some accountability partners. Connect with someone who maybe you get along with, that you maybe look up to, whatever, right? and be like, I'm going to tell you my why, and I need you to remind me of that when I'm like, I just don't want to have any, I don't want to do any work this month. I don't know, it's a slow month. It's just not working. That's when you're going to reach out to your accountability partner and just say, remind me. And they're going to remind you. Because that's what we do here. We hold each other up. We hold ourselves accountable. Lisa, Roxy, that's excellent. We need those accountability partners. We need those people. And maybe it's not somebody on your team. It could be your spouse or your best friend or whatever outside of Scentsy. That's fine too. You don't have to be within Scentsy, but it's probably much easier, of course, right? Because they get it. They're there. They're there. And not only is it going to help you, it's going to help them. We're giving more than we take here in this company. We are making it simple in the fact of we're attaching a measurable goal every single month, no matter what this business is for you. It needs to be measurable. And let me tell you guys, when you start hitting that measurable goal, don't think that you're like, oh, now I bought the purse and I'm cool. Trust me, there's going to be another purse. Or there's going to be, oh, now the kids are getting older and now they need, a new computer. Or now we need the, fill in the blank. The kids need it all. Want it all. Those things are going to change. But the purpose of the why is never going to change. So take the why, make it measurable, give it a dollar amount, and that's where you start. And that toothache is going to remind you every single month of why you're going to pour into your business, why you're going to have more conversations, of why you're going to plan things out and work your plan. I love you all. I love you all. And I want you all to go on this journey with me because we're going to do this. We are going to kill this. 2020 may have been a crapshoot, but let me tell you, 2021 is a comeback year. The world isn't perfect, but you know what? Neither are we. Results aren't typical, but neither are we. We are going to change our own lives. We have the power to do it. And we have the power to do it together. I love you. I'll talk to y'all later.